The Haunting of Blackwood Manor. Are you prepared to be frightened? The story of a family moving into a haunted mansion and learning the terrifying secrets that lie within its walls is told by Midnight Murmurs in this chilling episode. For more spooky tales to keep you up all night, like and subscribe to our channel. Join us right now to experience the terror. The family's trip to Blackwood Manor was filled with trepidation and uncertainty. They were hoping that a new beginning in the country would help them heal and move on after going through a trying time in their lives. They could not help but be in awe of the splendor and beauty of the location as they approached the estate's gates. Their joy, however, was short-lived as they soon realized there was something off about the manor. They were uneasy and terrified, wondering what horrors awaited them in the shadowy recesses of Blackwood Manor in response to strange noises in the night and unexplained events. With intricate carvings on its brick walls and ornate windows that seemed to sparkle in the sunlight, the mansion stood tall and proud. With colorful flowers and lush greenery extending as far as the eye could see, the gardens were a sight to behold. The family basked in the splendor of their new home for a brief period of time, forgetting all of their problems. But as night fell, the eerie atmosphere that seemed to permeate every square inch of the estate overshadowed the beauty of the mansion and its surroundings. The family huddled together, their fear growing with each passing second as they listened intently to every creak and groan. A grand staircase that led to the upper floors greeted them as soon as they entered. The walls were covered with paintings of long-dead ancestors, and the floors were made of polished marble. The family was in awe of their good fortune in finding such a magnificent place to call home. The only thing that caused them to pause was the unsettling silence that pervaded the room, as if the house were holding its breath. They quickly dismissed their unease and got to work poring over every inch of their brand new house. But then the first indications of trouble started to show up. Unexpectedly, a vase that was resting on a table tipped over, dripping water and flowers onto the ground. The family members looked at each other anxiously but attempted to dismiss it as an accident. But after that, they began to hear strange whispers in the middle of the night, and the following morning, they discovered that the doors they had locked the night before were suddenly open. The members of the family began to experience unease and wonder if there was a presence in the house. They made the decision to look into it and learned that it had a troubled past, including rumors of a previous owner who had perished in mysterious circumstances. The strange occurrences increased in frequency and unease over the course of the days. The family started noticing things moving by themselves and spectral apparitions lurking in the shadows. At first, they made an effort to dismiss it, believing that their imagination was just playing tricks on them. But eventually they had to admit that Blackwood Manor was haunted. The family made the decision to contact a paranormal investigator to assist them in deciphering what was going on. The investigator supported their theories and gave them advice on how to deal with the ghosts that were residing in the house. So, as the family struggled to come to terms with the sinister secrets and evil spirits that lurked within the walls of their new home, their idyllic new life turned into a nightmare. Once people learned about the house's ghostly past, they were unwilling to purchase it, despite the family's best efforts to sell it. They eventually had no choice but to learn how to live in harmony with the spirits and accept their new situation. Anyone would experience shivers as a result of the eerie whispers in the night and the sight of ghosts hiding in the shadows. These supernatural encounters were becoming more frequent and terrifying for the family who moved into Blackwood Manor. Doors slammed shut suddenly, things started moving on their own, and the feeling of being watched became constant. The family was initially afraid and uncomfortable, but they eventually learned to talk to the spirits and comprehend their presence. They even started to value the special energy that these paranormal creatures brought to their house. The family contacted specialists in ancient rituals and the paranormal out of desperation for answers. They hoped that someone would be able to assist them in driving the evil spirit out of their house. They learned more secrets and sinister acts carried out by the previous owner as they dug deeper into the history of the house. The family's skepticism diminished as they became aware of their serious danger. The experts warned them that the spirit was difficult to exorcise and that they would need to carry out a difficult ritual in order to do so. The family hesitated, but they were aware that there was nothing else they could do to protect themselves from the evil force's wrath. The family was held captive by Blackwood Manor's murky past, which was a labyrinth. They discovered themselves gazing into the depths of evil as they investigated the perverse past of their home. They came to the realization that there was no simple way out the deeper they went. The evil spirit was closing in on them and baying for their blood as they were entrapped. If the family wanted to survive, they had to act quickly. Before it was too late, they had to unearth the mysteries of the past and figure out how to reverse the curse. Although the family's journey into the depths of the night was arduous and protracted, they did not lose hope. They gained insight into the house's past and the evil spirit that haunted it from the experts they had sought out. Armed with knowledge, they looked for solutions to drive the evil force away. They finally succeeded in breaking the curse and separating themselves from the evil force after numerous failed attempts. The family was finally able to move past their traumatic experience and begin anew with their newly discovered sense of relief and freedom. The family came into contact with the supernatural as they sought to learn the mysteries of Blackwood Manor. They experienced unspeakable horrors, and they were in grave danger. But they persisted, their courage unflinching and their resolve unwavering. Despite the difficulties they encountered, the family's stay at Blackwood Manor ultimately strengthened their bond and taught them the value of turning to one another in difficult situations. They were stronger and more resilient after the experience than they had ever been. The family experiences a wave of dread as they read through the diary. It takes a member of their own family to make the sacrifice necessary to lift the curse, not just any sacrifice. They gather in a small group as they consider their options and the seriousness of the choice they must make. They know they need to be strong and resilient once more because of the experience of triumphing over their previous adversity, which has prepared them for this difficult decision. They talk about the sacrifice and promise to be there for each other no matter what they decide. Days go by, and as they fail to reach agreement, tensions rise. However, they are aware that doing so is the only way to reverse the curse and preserve their lives. In the hopes that the sacrifice will be swift and painless, they draw lots. The chosen one approaches, quaking in terror but resolute in their resolve to carry out their responsibility. The others hold their breath, hoping for a miracle, as they close their eyes and breathe deeply. The selected family member bravely advances, bracing themselves for what lies ahead. The family members gather outside, holding each other tightly, and wait with bated breath as they are led to the room where the ritual must be performed. The weight of their ancestors' expectations is heavy in the air, which is thick with tension. The chosen person is aware that failure could bring shame to their family for many generations. The family member senses the evil spirit becoming more hostile as the ritual gets underway. They keep going despite the discomfort and fear because they want to finish it. Then all of a sudden, it's over. The family member has passed away, but the curse has been lifted. The family can finally sigh with relief now that the house is quiet and the ghosts have left. They are worn out but also have a newfound respect for one another and the strength they each possess as a result of the experience. They are aware that they have overcome their biggest obstacle as a team and are now capable of handling any situation. However, they still grieve over the loss of their loved one, making the victory bittersweet. For the rest of their lives, they will be burdened by the weight of that sacrifice and the memories of what they had to do to survive. The family gathers their belongings and departs Blackwood Manor as the sun begins to rise on a fresh day. They are aware that the horrors they experienced inside its walls will never leave them, but they are also aware that they have become more resilient as a result of their experiences. They can't help but feel a sense of optimism for the future and the possibility of a fresh start as they drive away. They promise to live their lives to the fullest and treasure every moment in remembrance of those who did not survive. They are aware that a second chance has been given to them, and they won't squander it. If you like this story, be sure to like and subscribe to Midnight Murmurs so you can read more spooky ghost stories.